What is up, everybody? I hope everyone's having a lovely Friday evening. The sun is setting here, and actually, it looks like I got a decent picture, even though we're here at dusk in good old upstate New York. So, what do you have coming up for the weekend over at youtube.com/the InfoWarrior? Actually, it's just InfoWarrior. youtube.com/InfoWarrior. Well, again, I've been deep diving into this Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Roberts Guthrie documentation that has been unsealed, and there's a lot there. Oh my God, is there a lot there? So I'm really hoping that tomorrow is the day where I can at least give you the first real deep dive into that information about, the main madam of Jeffrey Epstein, and somebody who doesn't seem to be in that original indictment for New York between 2002 and 2005, other than be named as an unnamed conspirator, not one of employee 1, 2, or 3 that seem to be working with the prosecution. That seems to be, it could be Natalia Malyshev, it could be Nadia Marcinkova, it could be Sarah Palin, it could be Leslie Groff. And actually, there's a lot more of the Epstein files that are out there as well, and we've been going over those. Now, earlier today, we gave you an update into the Linda Collins Smith murder case, and we showed you how the staffer, the best friend of this woman, and the employee of this woman, who they charged with this murder, oh, let's see, we got a little pee. We gotta wait a second. That was charged with this murder, is now facing capital punishment, and her fiance went on television and said they have no idea why she's been charged. The police are saying that she's also being charged with the abuse of a corpse. And on top of that, when you look at it, you have the portion where they found her body wrapped in a tarp outside, and it seemed like, oh, I guess we're not going to shoot across. And it seemed like when they reported the stab wounds, because this was a shooting death, that they could have tried to cut her up. And I keep saying they because I don't know whether they're telling the truth or not, that it was one person, because the other part of that report today was that her husband, who she was divorcing, or was divorced to, it's really unclear, Smith, he got taken out as a judge. He was appointed by Mike Huckabee, by the way, taken out as a judge after he was found with inappropriate content on his computer there. Now, there's some reports that Linda Collins Smith just days before possibly found CP on his computer. I don't know whether that's the case. We did go over that report. So when you look at that, and you look at how she was an Arkansas state senator, that I had Patrick Howley, the chief editor of Big League Politics, on really over a month ago to discuss how he had spoken with several women who were working with Linda Collins Smith, that she was indeed trying to expose a child trafficking ring. And also, I'd like to say, as soon as that murder did come out, there were rumblings of that on the internet. There was no proof, but like I said, after talking to Howley, he swears up and down that he's spoken with some of these people. So to me, that's worth reporting. Now, I just went live with another video in which I detailed different cases all around the country of this type of abuse taking place. And I show you that a lot of these people, they put themselves in positions where they're going to be around children, okay? And it's not like they start as old men. That's the thing. A lot of these guys maybe never get caught, but when they do, they're elderly, right? Here's the thing. You look at the case I just went over with Blink 182, Travis Barker's 13-year-old daughter being preyed upon by the drummer of Echosmith. Okay, that's a 20-year-old guy. And he's looking for 13-year-old girls. Why? You're a rock star, dude. You should be fine. What are you trying to get 13-year-old girls for, you sick fuck? And then, we talked about a minister. We talked about ESPN doing a rather large piece on a former Olympic hurdler and athlete who was abusing kids all around the country, but was part of the Syracuse athletic program. And it just shows you, that was in the 80s. This problem has been going on for a very, very long time and continues to do so. You know, we highlighted the fact that the San Antonio Police Department just 2 days ago, stopped somebody who had actually physically kidnapped a 9-year-old boy and was trying to sell him. Child trafficking is real. It's dangerous. It's something we have to talk about. It's not just on an elite level. However, when you get to the upper echelons of these things, it sure does seem like the majority of it is on an elite level. And then you name these people and you wonder if you're going to be categorized as a terrorist now that the FBI is classified basically asking any type of questions and being a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist as equating you with a domestic terrorist threat. And unlike other channels that showed you the headlines and briefly showed you the documents, we went through every word, every line, every page of the document so you could see exactly what they said, how they used doublespeak, how they talked about the fact in 2 different instances that it really sucks that some of these conspiracy theories are true. Not because they're true, not because there are elitists out there that do help with false flag operations, Gulf of Tonkin, USS Liberty, to proven false flags. Proven false flags, can't talk about those. Can't talk about the United Nations in a manner in which they might have some kind of control against our sovereignty. Not allowed to talk about the quote-unquote New World Order. That sucks for me, man. I did a whole movie called Invisible Empire and New World Order Defined. You gotta wonder, you know? So, again, when elitists talk about it, when somebody like Eric Schmidt gives a lecture about the New World Order and technology all the way back in 2009, and a lot of it comes to fruition, you don't believe me? Go check out my deep dive into Eric Schmidt and that speech. I did that pre-Bilderberg. And I did it pre-Bilderberg meeting. I think the Bilderberg meeting was the first week of June this year, because I suspected he was going to make a comeback to that organization. He hadn't been on the list for a couple of years. I think he hadn't been on the list in 2017 or 2018, and all of a sudden he's back. So, again, we try to cover it all here. I'm upset that, you know, if you talk about Zionism, according to this document, well, obviously you hate the Jews, or you try to corner the Muslims. Apparently you can't be critical of the Muslim religion. That's pretty broad, right? And they talk about broad groups and violence. And the thing is that the cases they cite were pretty easily ripped apart today. No doubt about it. It wasn't like, you know, they had a leg to stand on, in my opinion. How many people out there are really getting violent because they're watching YouTube videos? Or how many people out there are enlisting in the military to go fight overseas for wars that are predicated on lies? Let me repeat that, predicated on lies of things like weapons of mass destruction and imagination chemical attacks that never happened. Okay, by the mainstream media, by CNN, by Fox, by MSNBC. How much of that is going on? I'd say this, a lot, way more. How many people are signing up for the military because the military industrial complex are the ones that work with Hollywood in order to present to you a narrative of heroship? How many times you go to the movie theater this year and you had to watch a U.S. Army ad? Huh? As I pass the recruitment center behind me. But no, I'm the bad guy. Do I have recruitment centers? Have I ever called for violence? Pretty sure that's what the military does. Call for violence, right? It's not like all this stuff just is patty cake. And then on the other flip side of that military industrial complex that's selling your kids and your grandkids war and telling them to enlist at 18 years old, those same people, the Pentagon, are spying on you here at home. Let me repeat that, spying on you here at home. And on many levels. You know, today's story, the other walk and talk earlier, of the Pentagon using solar weather balloons for, I believe it's the second year in a row now, because they alluded to the fact that they had some of these flights last year. The Guardian was able to get FCC documents that showed up to 25 of these things were 65,000 feet in the air, and they called it Combat TiVo in the Midwest. They're flying in the Midwest and they're trying to stop the trafficking of drugs. Well, why the fuck aren't you on the borders then? because that's not what it's about. That's called a cover story, a cover program, okay? So, you know, coming up in the next couple days, Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow, big UFC event on at noon and 3 o'clock for the main card. Doesn't look like I'm going to go out to Newark, but I'm definitely going to be watching that. Probably still going to put videos out during the show, during the day. Trying to catch as much of it as possible. Again, we're definitely going to do the Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Virginia Roberts, Guthrie document deep dive. And then I think we're also going to do another one of these episodes. What do you got to go to the bathroom, baby? Yeah, you do. Another one of these episodes that is based on the Black Book and the political connections and donations of Jeffrey Epstein. So, if you're new to this, you liked what you saw, we do a lot more than walk and talks. We do deep dives and a whole lot more with your help. With that GoFundMe. Remember, guys, I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a Subscribe Star. We're not going to do a secret Skype session together. All my material is out there for free because I want all of you to see it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.